playing the 1-1-3. And this is actually a pretty standard setup, but a lot of respect's being given right now. And EG, they're getting free real estate and a
Oh,
free headshot too. Why not? And now they're just going to bombard the site.
I think they spotted Cryptic, so those dualies will not be able to get ready close up. And Darty, actually, I say Darty, he only gets one, but he gets two as well as that bomb goes down. So still an even keel situation here for Wildcard to pull things over. No kit involved, so they've got to get the pace up right now. So they're starting to duel in the back of the site, and Darty goes massive with two more. And there's Freshie with a quick flank. Darty going huge on the back of the B bomb site. And I mean, Evil Geniuses had everything in their hands there. Smoke on the left side of the B site, as well as the plant.
You have the one Galil still available here for automatic. And now it looks like, again, they might just put a little bit more on the boost. The nade might actually do some good damage. Well, it's going to actually just go past Junior, and it actually connects onto Walco, funny enough. So the booster is going to get caught a little bit here. Good amount of work coming in from EG, just kind of trying to burn this utility as much as possible. And look at what they have available now, Paladin. I mean, 1:23, and we're talking about 3 smokes with 1 Molotov as the complement.
And they're really just holding back to potentially just wait for some utility to be drained. Maybe a CT reaggression somewhere around the map, but Wildcard aren't really budging. They're very willing to play pretty passive on middle. You have Brett kind of jiggling in Donut, and you don't even have real dig pressure from Wildcard either. Finally, a play being made here by Darty, trying to clear out lane. They're going to have to clear out Hext hard, or else this could spell disaster. But the timing is just awful. They're not actually clearing that corner out completely was Darty. And Slight also goes down behind him, and there's Cryptic falling as well. Automatic wins the Donut duel, and it's just Freshie just wondering. And it hasn't necessarily netted him too positive of a result, but you know, I admire the attempt here. Again, Junior loves getting boosted up here early on this T box, but hasn't been necessarily offered anything up yet from Darty. Darty playing a very keen passive game, but that could be to their detriment. The cross smoke has actually come through, and they've just waltzed into the B bomb site. And look at automatic, man, automatic tearing through 3 members in middle. It looks so clean there, so pristine there from the vet.
And another!
Tight on overpass, as we saw with the just immaculate defense. And now, at least something to boast here for Wildcard as they get that opening pick from Freshie. Finally, some mid presence is being achieved. But Cryptic actually tries to go aggressive in cave. Rare situation here from the IGL to go all the way out. But look at all this presence that they've got because of it. Now they've got all of this lane control. They can keep re-smoking this, and they can potentially cheat over rotates. And look at that. A main aggression caught between a rock and a hard place. Freshie aggresses, sends his gun out through the end of the map, and now Junior has a chance to potentially duel. But hey, it's a wild idea from Wildcard, and somehow it sticks.
Yeah, no pun intended, right? And I mean, this is now Hex by himself, a 1-on-4, and it's going to be an 8-4 here gain for EG. And now Wildcard, they're going to have to prove us wrong if they can gain some T rounds to put themselves in the conversation of a third map. Laz and Paladin going to walk you through that one.
Hoping that Wildcard would have had a better defense, but it doesn't matter. Now they only have one half potentially separating themselves between elimination or map number 3. If starting off strong here in this pistol, finally something to smile about in the Wildcard camp. 2 picks for them, a bomb plant, a great A post plant positions. What could go wrong here, Laz?
What could go wrong? And that's a good start right there. Junior finds himself a nice little bit of an angle, but he's going to get caught with the reload and the dualies. They're going to be able to find it, and there we go. These pistols are starting to do some good work, and unless Hex can find something with the dualies, we might be able to see another T round coming into full effect right now for Wildcard. With these dualies, just kind of squash things around a little bit here. Some good utility usage coming in, and Darty, he's already eaten down to 50 HP of damage. Whoa. And there he is. He's gone through a smoke, and Walco's just going to find him. And poor Darty, he didn't get to see anybody at all in round number 15.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, I've been chipped by nades, and then, oh, I'm just dead somehow. And that's a great little start here for Evil Genius's first buy round. Keep in mind that this is a bonus situation from Wildcard, so that all that damage that Darty took is essentially to get in the face of EG, try to get early cave control, and it just doesn't work out this time around. And in that 4v5 with no A main control, I think they've kind of forced their hand into this B pressure and hope that they can win an opening duel here against Walco or perhaps even Junior.
Yeah, and Walco's got the FAMAS too, so I mean, he's holding this tight angle. This isn't the best gun in the world to have on this kind of an angle. And he's going to hold his ground, and the Gleo's going to do one better as Freshy's going to be able to find himself too. Molly now going to cook up onto Hex, but he's able to get this spray. He actually runs through it, and Hex again. I don't know how he's winning these engagements. He goes to a fight reloading, but I mean, Freshy's down to 13 HP, and that one's done, but...
Play MP9 on Hex, so that lackadaisical play from Hex beyond those first 2 kills does come back to cost him. But regardless, now finally with the buyout for Wildcard, they take so much damage, but at least they have that cave control that they've been looking for.
Well, and the thing is too, is I mean, look at the difference that we're seeing in the second half from EG. I mean, the utility damage is just something to take note of here. Both Cryptic and Darty, they're already so wounded. They haven't seen anybody. I mean, the nades with the mollies, you know, in the connection of each other, they're able to get themselves some good engagement. A nice little bit of a 1-2 coming in here from the cave. They clean things up. Now just leaving Wildcard down to 3. They don't have any utility either. So now they have nothing to work with to get themselves any sort of site control. This is going to be about firefights, and that hasn't been the strongest for them in this department. This is where EG have really started to prevail. And I mean, they do have a smoke and an HE available here in the back of Wolco. And they're going to place it just now. Man, that timing. Now they're just going to have to fight for this. They have to. This is desperate. Desperation starting to kick in. Slight should be able to find it. He does. He sneaks through. A bit of a smoke criminal. And he's able to find 2. Bomb's going to go down. And this firefight is going to work out, leaving it just down to George on a 1-on-3.
I do love that Slight is able to cheat through that smoke. Smokes are not walls in any form of Counter-Strike. And Slight shows us how deadly that can be. Molly that was picked up from a dead teammate.
Yeah, like it's so hard to get used to. You're like, oh yeah, that's a thing now, and yeah, they're just hilarious. But Cryptic actually, a run and gun in middle? Excuse me? All right, that's a way to make a statement here for round number 18. And now all of a sudden, I mean, this is where EG were able to find themselves, you know, at least 2 openers right away. But Wildcard have kind of done the exact same thing, and Slight's going to be able to take down Walco. He digs them up, and there we go. Down to 2 players remaining, Junior and Hex, and again, they don't have a kit, so they're going to have to firefight this and maybe even try to go for these saves unless they can win these duels. That's not a bad start.
All right, so 2v4 for Evil Geniuses to try to piece together. They've gotten themselves mid-control, and Wildcard are completely avoiding the A bomb site altogether. So it's going to be lane control quickly gained by EG to potentially try to get themselves back into this. Junior is actually just off to save immediately, and Hex hasn't honestly been offered up anything. So because of that, he's very willing to just give up this round here, make it even Stevens, and potentially try to go at it again in the round following. But man, Cryptic just tearing things apart in a matter of seconds in middle, doing his best automatic impression, in all honesty.
Yeah, it kind of was, right? I mean, it kind of looked like something you see from automatic, but does one a little bit better. And both these EG players are just having a bite and donut right now, just kind of waiting things out. Wildcard, we're going for the hunt, but not going to be in the case right now. But
I said try to get these these rifles involved as quickly as possible. Nice, decent little chip damage here for EG, but Darty still gets through lane completely unscathed, basically. And they get that mid control that they've been looking for all half long. And with that, A splits on the cards. I mean, EG stack feels pretty much useless at this point. But perhaps they can get some information off of this push here into lane.
Yeah, I like the creativity, though. They kind of have to do something with these pistols, and it's a nice way for them to work on it. But Junior actually does get spotted now. Smoke's going to block him off, so he's not going to be able to assist this. So now just leaving George. Look at the position he's in. He's on this tree position, and Cryptic, he knows it. reads him like a book, takes him down.
The rounds have just run away from EG, so we've got to look for some answers here for Wildcard to potentially
side, which is really created a lot of problems here for EG to get any sort of momentum. But I would talk about momentum, and Cryptic's down to 4, so I think that momentum's looking pretty good in terms of utility damage.
Yeah, at least that's something to write home about for Evil Geniuses, that they've gotten that much damage in already, and now you're trying to re-aggress to take mid control as well. So things looking up for the CTs here in this round. Just a complete landlock out in Cave itself as that primes Junior into the opening duel. So the op rings true, and a matter of timing, that is brutal on Walco. Teed up for a beautiful frag, but just pulls the pin too early and gets punished for it. But thankfully Hex is there to trade, reflash in the lane, and they still retain the man advantage, thankfully.
Look at Freshie now. He's actually made his way through long. Oh, he might be able to get this timing, but George actually gets the better of him, but it is costly. Down to 46. They needed that right there, EG. If he would have lost that, they could have been a free sight. Automatic locking down middle once more. Slight's going to remove his head, though. A 1-on-3, 30 seconds remaining. George with a quick peek at a donuts, and he
to potentially rustle some feathers in this bracket. Still another chance to do so, but Walco trying to shut things down early. There's Hex chiming in on lane as well. Beautiful flash there from Automatic to prime him up there. And this 5v3 spells disaster for the T's.
Well, they've been in this position before. They can definitely do it again, and now Freshie's going to lead the charge here. He's got the rifle out. He's able to find Hex, but a little bit of a crossfire he goes against. Flash is coming in high from George, so this is going to be a good way for them to get some more control. A nice nade thrown. That's going to be able to bring things to a 2-on-3. Still with EG and the player advantage. Brett now trying to see if he can find something. He's by himself, but that bomb's going to creep all the way back a little bit slowly through Cave. They got lots of time to work with, though, Paladin. I mean, they still just have under, the 50-second mark. If they can catch the timing, this could be everything. No. But he made noise, man. He made all the footsteps. He's just thundering through here. So EG's not going to leave.
I really like the idea to just pump the brakes, potentially cause a rotation to come over. But yeah, as you said, footsteps giving up the name of the game. Brett goes down to slivers of HP. And now it's just Slight to potentially hold on to this lead here. Smoked off the Cave. At this point, just tuck tail, save that AWP. And Evil Geniuses chime in for a beautiful B hold there. You have Walco first round in the half where he's actually gone into the Cave to duel. You have Hex being primed in by a flashbang from Automatic. Have some basic flashes and Molotovs to potentially prime them into these duels. And I haven't necessarily seen that too much on Overpass, but here on Asian, you've at least started to see the signs of that. Now, Evil Geniuses have found the correct answers to it with constant re-aggression and getting in their faces on the other side of the coin. And now they're just going to try to contact into this B bomb side. Junior gets the opening, and there's Walco to chime in with a double. Junior gets his second as well. And that B contact play just completely falls flat in its face. And that's all the funds.
Tenfold. And now, I mean, this is going to be so difficult because look at what they're working with. Like, look at these SMGs. You never see it. And now Junior trying to make a highlight reel. He's able to find 2. Not that third, though. Gets traded out by his teammate, leaving it just down to a Galil and Tech9 remaining. They try to put the pedal to the metal, and this thing might be over very quickly as they just bamboozle them right now, leaving it all down to Freshie, looking to see what he can do. And EG, they have been able to secure this game.